The Journal of Hydric, Day 1. I don't know how long I've waited. I don't know how long since my world ended. I would write a proper date, but what would I put? Who is it that will ever read this and judge it anyways? In the final battle, we threw ourselves at the invaders and seemed to be doing well at first, but they kept coming and kept coming. Eventually, the armies and fleets of our allies began to be overwhelmed. We were left to battle alone. And in the midst of this battle, the unthinkable began to happen. One by one, the guards began to fall. One by one, we began to see that we could not win. We have fought for thousands of years against terrible odds and powerful enemies. Time and again we have won. But this time, like a dove that has been struck by an arrow, we fell. And as we fell, the societies and peoples we were assigned to guard began to fall as well. How do you recount a failure so great in a few words on paper? I don't know if I can. Instead, let me recount how I survived, as best as I recall. I was battling one of the great demons above the city of Nisef. I was about to slay him when a power I could not understand, the type of which I have not encountered before, grabbed a hold of me, and with a great noise threw me into the earth below Nisef. I fell down through the world, down and down and down. As I went, I could not stay awake. The pain and something else forced me to sleep. For the first time since I joined the guards over 100 years ago, my eyes closed and my consciousness left me. When I awoke, I was here, alone. The last of my kind. The last of any kind. And I guess this is our world. We're here to tell the story of the last guard. And if things have gone well, then, and according to plan, then, ooh, little lag as it loads in. I just watched Ilmango's video about lag comparison for Minecraft 1.13 and 1.14. Wow. I don't recall having experienced this much lag in a long time. Interesting. That's okay. We'll get over it. And it's here and there. I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to show a lot of punching wood. Sorry, had to help my son with something, but everybody knows how to punch wood, how to get those basic resources, so we're going to skip ahead a little bit here. What we will be doing, so today I'm going to do some very limited resource collecting, and I'll hit record if anything exciting happens, but I'm not going to show a lot of it. What I do want to do is, so this is world spawn, and we'll come back to it, but we're not actually going to be playing here very much for very long. There is one build we need to do. If you just saw that first video, you might get a little hint as to what we're doing. But we have one build we need to do here, and oh good, there's some spruce right over there. I love me some spruce. It's one of my favorite blocks in the game. So I'll do some really limited resource gathering. We'll get ready to do the build. I think that we'll probably do the build in this episode, and then we gotta leave. We're gonna go somewhere else. So I'm not gonna. So yeah, let me punch some wood. Let me get to doing some more resource gathering, and we'll be back in just a minute. So this is like the single most unnutritious way to feed myself at the beginning of the game, but oh, look at that. I'm out looking for sheep, but that's the first time I've seen a new fox. Yeah, come back. They're super afraid of players, so I think what I remember somebody saying, don't remember who or when or what, so maybe I'm lying to you here, is that you're supposed to sneak up on them while they're sleeping. Another thing that I am realizing as I play is, so, I mean, if you watched the other day, you saw I was playing 1.13 with a decent sized machines not getting any lag, and this is generating lag just walking around a forest. So that makes me a little nervous. This machine is decent enough that I wouldn't expect that. But I'm also running several programs right now. I'm hoping that that's just it, because alright, and there we go. That should be our last piece of armor. We still have 31 of these. I'm actually going down to do a tiny bit more mining, but got plenty of iron now, and we're almost done with getting those basics set up. I've gone looking for sheep 3 times and I haven't been able to find a sheep yet, so Probably going to be doing some sheep hunting. Maybe some cow hunting. Would like a couple. And there you have it, folks. First diamonds on. I was going to say on the server, but I'm not playing on a server right now, which is a little weird. It's kind of what I do anymore. But yep, there we go. First diamonds. Do do do. Breaking diamonds, breaking diamonds, breaking diamonds, breaking diamonds. All right, so this right here is what we got from that mining session. The precious resources, at least. What's funny is this stuff, those 17 rotten flash. This all came from like one cave down there that I managed to find, a small little cave that was all black, and yeah, was surprised that I lived through that. I'm gonna have to be better at remembering to hit the record key because that was kind of entertaining. So as it gets dark and I still don't have a bed, let's take a look around what's going on out here because we're going to start prepping for the build tomorrow. This will let me collect a little bit more resources as well. We actually need to pull down all these trees for it. So I'm going to start doing that. I might, maybe I'll go cave just a little more or mine a little more while it's nighttime. But that's gonna be the goal. We're gonna come up, get all this ripped out, and hopefully find a couple of sheep so that we can start sleeping through the night. Alright, so I really don't want to collect too many resources here, just what we need. But we are going to need to do some smelting for this project, and I would like to just, especially once I pull down all those trees out there and have all that to just make into charcoal, I'd like to be able to just stick a bunch of stuff in here. Do I want to? I might actually even put in just a hopper here with some charcoal just so that I can sit overnight and get everything smelted. We're going to make up a whole bunch of stone, and we're going to use some of the new smooth stone, which you have to smelt to get. And so I think we are going to set that up, and I will take that, but I'm being really careful about what I build here because, I mean, all of this has to go with this. And luckily, I mean, we can craft some of this down into redstone blocks, lapis blocks, etc. to save a little bit of space, but we don't have any other form of transportation yet. No shulker boxes, nothing like that, so we're going to keep it as light and minimalist as possible. Sheep, sheep, sheep. I found some sheep. Hey. Hey, hey, hey. Come back, come back, come back. There we go. Aha, I am going to make a bed. And if you ever hear my son in the background, he's 2 and he loves Minecraft, so keeping him out of the recording room is proving to be impossible. I'm sorry, you might just hear him occasionally. Alright guys, so it's nighttime out, gonna make a bed, and I mean, the plain white beds are fine, but I figure I just went and got a whole bunch of lapis. We should probably, you know, make it out of blue. That's a good start. I've considered yeah. Yep. I'd rather burn this than cut it down. Though we've made quite a bit of progress over here. Still have a bit more out here to do, and then this chunk over here to do, and I may have to do that in the morning before we start working on the build, because my son needs some daddy time. You know, being a dad is one of the best things ever, and he's been real patient this morning just watching Minecraft and wanting to do fun stuff, so I think I need to take a break, eat something. You know how that is. You start playing and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm hungry. Oh, I haven't eaten like 4 hours. Yeah, I need to go eat. So stick around, and 15-second like break, and then we will be back to building for the second part of this episode. Hey guys, 15-second like break here. Thanks for watching the video this far. If you're enjoying the content that I am making, then one of the best ways you can support me is to consider hitting that subscribe button and maybe even giving it a thumbs up. All right, thanks. Let's just jump right back in. All right. We are back, and you can see I did go and find and plant a little bit of sugarcane. That's for our books, so we can keep telling our story. And we've removed a lot of the wood just from this area. We may need to go slightly farther back just to get it out of what we can see, but I think this is good for starting our build here. So The next part is going to be I'm going to be crafting a bunch of silver spoons, silver little shovels, and taking out a bunch of this dirt. We want to get, at least in a number of these spots, we want to get down to stone or whatever, you know, whatever diorite, andesite, whatever is under the dirt. All right, yep, you come over here. I would have done this with TNT if I had a creeper farm already, but I don't. Okay, I'm blow up there. Thank you. Alright, so let's take a step back. I need to open it up over here. You can see we're starting to just get a little bit of a, I'm going to say a crater shape because that's what we're going for. I mean, I'm not trying to build McDonald's here. So I think I need to pull this down a little bit more up here and carve out this crater to come right through here a bit better. And then, oh, hello. And then, yeah, then we'll get to building. Put a little bit more down there and a little bit through right over here. And that's going to be our crater. And yeah, let's get cracking. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. And as we come out here, you'll be able to see we've got the beginnings of this crater pretty much carved out. I don't think we're not gonna take out much more here. We are gonna start building a little bit. We need to basically hide all the grass. So, and you've seen I've started to mark out. We're gonna start with some stone and some cobblestone, and we might just throw a little bit of andesite in right here as well. And we're just going to cover up the grass. We're trying to make a base layer where we don't see any of the green. We just see stone, andesite, and that type of stuff. So I also want to make this have a decent amount of variation levels. So I'm going to start by just putting the full blocks down in areas like this. We'll switch out every now and again and do... I'm going to get a bunch of this in. It's not the most exciting work. So let me do this and I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Alright guys, you can see it's coming along a little bit. We put down a pad here. I just used up some cobble because we're going to cover a whole bunch of it up anyways. This is starting to look like something, but it's just an optical illusion because of where we're at. That's the first part, but as soon as we start hopping up here, you can see there's still quite a bit of grass and stuff to clean up or dirty up, depending on how you're thinking about it. We're kind of making a messy build here. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to get some of this covered up. I'm going to raise the edges a little higher so we start to hide all of the greenery back behind here. And we're cooking along. We're making some good progress. That went way faster than... Do you remember what it was like mining before we had enchanting, or or when we first had enchanting and it cost 30 levels to do anything and enchanting was almost useless at times? Yeah, that's what this felt like. I normally early game I'm like grinding for resources, and this time I just jumped in and was like, nope, this story needs this build right away. I mean, we're starting partway through this character's life, but this is really where his story starts. So I don't want to give too much of that story away yet, though. So I'm not explaining everything we're doing. As we go about, we will definitely give more explanations about, oh, we're building this and this, and this is why. But for this part right here, I'm going to let him tell his story at the end of this episode. So let's jump back into it. I'm going to get those slabs, and we're going to put out a lot of slabs and make this start to look more and more like a crater. Alright, so we're putting down some cover, and we've got lots of these little things. I want to show you what we're doing just to add a little detail and make it a little more interesting to the eye. Just throwing this down. We're going to do some of this as well with fence posts and with some of the other... I'm loving some of these new blocks, by the way. Look at this. Isn't that gorgeous? And I've got some stairs down around that I've just thrown down as well. The new smooth, or the new just like plain old stone slabs, love it. But yeah, so we're throwing down these, and this is going to just add a little detail. It also lets us cover up some of the grass and some of the straight plain cobblestone that's going to get a little boring to the eye. We've also got little parts like this where we'll throw a slab over a slab. That gives us just a little more interesting detail. And here we go. This part is mostly done. We're still going to come add some fence gates on top. You can see what it turns out as we took our little, we took these that we started to make, and you can see one right here. We dug out around it, replaced the ground, and now we've got something that's a little bit more interesting. Now I just have to do the whole rest of the area. I've got like an eighth of it done, so I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, I think that the crater itself is basically done. I may burn some trees out here. I don't normally burn trees, but I've got stacks of saplings now, so I'm not really worried about it. And when we get back here, we'll be changing the environment quite a bit when we eventually come back to build at World Spawn. But for now, I think it's time to work on this little build right over here. We're just going to make a real small spire type of thing, and so it doesn't have to be quite circular, but we want to come around here and just real quickly outline. This might be slightly bigger than I want, we'll see. Outline this shape, just a quick little I call it sketching. I'm sure I've heard other people call it that as well, you know, just putting down some blocks, seeing what it looks like. Now let's pull this in a bit. And yeah, let me get back to you in just a minute. I'll show you what we come up with. Alright, let's hop down and glance at this. That's about what I want, but I want it a little bit taller, so we are actually, I might just leave it like this and then make it taller as I add the stone and such to the outside. Alright guys, we are almost done. Putting down a few. I don't want that floating. Oh no. Oh, okay, I do still have a pick. I just used up one pick, and I've been through so many picks. We've been through over a stack of iron. So, put this there. Let's take a look around where we're missing detail work at before we put the last couple ones down. Actually, I think we're looking pretty good. I don't know if these matter so much exactly where they go for right now. I want to come up here and put a couple. I don't think I have very many up in this area. Oh, there are a couple. Sure, that's fine. And those are bothering me. Those might need to come down too. But this is our basic little crater. We're going to do some moving things around, and I actually want to do a little bit with this cave. You've already seen the cave in that first clip, so I need to make this look like what you've already seen. So there's that to do, and we have one more thing. That's we're going to be leaving a little bit of ruins here. Not a lot, just small little structures, barely visible, and we're going to be using the smooth stone to do that. But let me go to bed, and we'll hop over. Maybe I'll do a little bit of that on camera. I don't want this episode to get too long, especially since I'm just kind of, you know, putting down lots and lots and lots of stone. Alright, we've just left a couple areas that are a little bit more slightly open. These are meant to be small ruins. We don't have the full remains of the structures, so to speak. And so we're going to we'll do a wall there, and we're going to come right over here and do another wall probably right here. I want to work in some type of like something that looks like it was once an entrance. We could do a little patio here, or just some steps up. Leave that one. Something like that. The stone would have survived a little bit better. Then we can come through and put down maybe a couple more to make it look like it would have once all fit together. And we are going to take just a little bit of oak logs, run them right up here as if there was something that had been there. Let's take a step back. We want to keep it small. I don't want to make this too. We need some walls there, don't we? Don't want to use wood. They wouldn't have survived. What the world has just gone through. So Let's get let me put a couple more foundations down, and then I might go and grab some more smooth stone. I'm out of smooth stone, so I might have to just go cook some up. We might use, or not smooth stone, just regular stone. I've got to get those names right. But we might just use regular stone as a little bit of wall. Also, okay, I've got a couple ideas. Let me put these down. We'll come over here. There's a small spot that I figured we could do one right around here. Right there. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. This one's going to be a little bit more, at least right through here. It's going to show up. I want it to come right there. And then we're going to leave that. And we're going to come right up here and pick it up here. We'll leave that. And we'll put a wall right here. And I think that that's where we're going to stop that. We're going to put a couple of these here. And this is still just sketching, so, you know, if something doesn't look good, we'll take it out and we'll put in something else. And we'll come down here. I'm going to put one of these here. Yeah, that's fine. And one right here. Let's take a quick step back. We're going to need some stairs up at an entrance. That looks a little bit more like it's turning into something. We'll put our entrance right here, and maybe we'll actually put a slightly larger patio on this one. Yeah, I think I want a few more blocks for this build palette. I thought I had collected enough, but obviously I hadn't. And we're just going to leave that like that. Sorry about that. I had to help my little boy with some stuff. So I think I might just try putting in something like that, maybe. See if it helps give the walls more of a, like, wall-y feeling just with these. This was just meant to be the foundation, but I don't like it. Don't like it. Don't want those for walls. Let's move those. We'll keep these as just foundation blocks, and I'll find something else to stay up here. I don't necessarily hate it over there, but it was just a bit too much, so we'll take it all down. And I think I want one or two more of these little house structures. Pick up all of our stuff. I was going to put one right over here, but that's getting a bit, I don't want to deal with that stuff. And this right over here is going to actually be kind of a ruined path, so we're going to leave that there. I think we'll come up here, and there was a spot up here I could put something small in. Let's do that. Alright guys, let me put this one in and go and grab a couple more resources for so we can fill this out just a little bit more, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, let's try it with some stair walls just to give it a little bit of, I don't want that. Let's give it a little bit of depth and see what happens if we just do like, okay, there we go. Just do a couple in a couple places, not a lot. And if it's slightly messy, I'm not too flustered over it just because, and it's the same on the other side. Let's change this a little bit. Let's just put one on this side. Just because, I mean, these are ruins, and ruins are really easy. You start building a house, and if it doesn't work, you tear it down and redo it. Or the other way to do it that I've found that has worked really well for me is to build a house, then burn it down. And then you have good ruins, as long as you've used a decent amount of non-burnable materials. Alright, so we've got that in. That's a good start. I'm also going to take some of these slabs and give kind of just a little bit in a few spots. Add a little bit as if there had been, like, you know, as if we'd had a roof. We had a roof at one point in time on this. Not going to do too much because ruins are usually thick at the bottom and thin at the top. And that's too much. It's not going to look good with more than maybe one or two right around it. We'll put something over here. And we'll do that to, I think we've got one more over here that's probably about full height. Oh, two more. We'll do it on both of these. Over here, and let's put that's the right side. That's the right side. Do that there. A second one. Is there one over here? If not, then I might make this just slightly taller and put one on this as well. Get up there, get up there, get up there. Come on, you can do it. And of course, I just crafted up all that wood. Let me run and go to bed. I'll be right back. Got some wood, got some sleep. Yeah, that's starting to look a little bit more like what we were going for. Whoa! Launch your arrows. I don't think I got them. Oh well. Okay, come back up here. Throw this on. One or two? I think one is high enough. Let's pull these back out, and we'll do this. Throw one on the front. I think that we're going to call that good for that. We might come down here now, start trying to work on what remains of this road that should be leading out into the ocean. Yeah, just enough to tell you something's there, and if you come up and you actually take a peek at it, you can see, oh look, this looks like it could have been something once. I'm tempted to put in floors. I'll think about that, because I don't know if they're actually necessary for this. In fact, at some point in time when we come back here, since this is right next to World Spawn, some of this will stay as part of a monument type of thing to the area, but a bunch of this is going to go. And so now that we've put it all down, it's important to the story, though, and that's fine. Now I can get some arrows. I see you opted to swim in the water here instead of dying in the sun, and so you died in the water. Just can't win here, sir. Sorry about that. All right, I'm going to put down a basic idea for this road. I'll be right back, and we'll talk about it. So originally I was thinking of coming in and maybe putting down some concrete, which we would have to go gather the stuff for, but I mean, there's an ocean right here. There's some sand over there. I mean, there's some gravel in the mine. We'd be able to do that, but I actually am kind of liking this, and I'm kind of liking, I think, the way that would look with this texture right here. I was just standing there thinking about it, thinking, what should I do there, and saw this, and I was like, that would actually look kind of good. I mean, I don't know if that's the greatest road texture. Now I'm thinking more about building, wanting to make this look really nice. I might try that a little bit. I'll make a few, put them down. I don't mind just the smooth stone kind of being broken up by the cobble. We might try that as well. So I'm going to put down a couple designs. I'll come back and, we'll do one here and maybe another one there. We'll come back and talk about which one's going to be the final one. Give me just a minute. Okay, I'm running low on recording time today, so I've decided I'm going to skip getting the stuff for the concrete and putting it out here, especially since I don't mind this. This is okay, but I do like that right there. I like that. So I think we're going to be real sparse about it because, once again, I don't think a lot of wood would have survived, but we're going to pull this out, and we're going to put some barrels along here, and these are going different directions. I think I like it better this way. I might have to pull these out, but yeah, I think that'll do us. That'll get us going. And the last little bit, we are almost done here. The last little bit is going to be a little bit of work in that cave, and then this area is done, at least until we decide to come back. And there are all sorts of farms and things we can build here, and I've got having a hard time remembering words, having a conversation with myself while I try and play Minecraft, anyways, so let me get this done, and then we'll get back and we'll talk about what's going to happen next. All right, let's take a look. I like it. I don't think that I would necessarily leave it like this if it were supposed to be a permanent build. I think I would want to come and do some more to it, but I think that for what we're doing right now, this is actually a pretty cool little idea. I kind of now want to go and see if I could make a road that's also a storage system, because, I mean, barrels, man. These things have so many more uses in my point of view, just because of how they look than chests. Plus, they can open under stuff, whereas chests can't. And so let's pop up here. I'm going to need to move some of my storage. Let's pop up here and take just a little view around. Yeah, this is coming along nicely. I like what's happening. I want to keep building here. We'll see what happens. I may come back, so I've got some ideas for like some ruined light posts that I think would be cool, but I'm also running out of time, and I have a few goals I want to get done, so I want this area at least somewhat finished by the time that we're done with today, because we need to go out and, you know, we need to go get some resources started. We need an actual mine. We need some farms. We need, well, gold armor, etc. So we'll be coming back here. We'll be taking part of this and creating a memorial out of it, which means it's going to get some more work and get cleaned up and stuff. And then the rest will be part of other things in the spawn chunks. So let's get into that cave right behind me, and let's get that finished up. And I think we're getting close to the end of this episode. Thanks for sticking around and watching. I appreciate you being here with me. So I just came down to get a few more supplies for the last little bit of the cave, and realized I started a thought a few minutes ago that I've played around with some ideas for a new iron farm, and I do use other people's tutorials, but not nearly as much as I used to. And in all honesty, I don't usually pay great attention through tutorials. I'll turn it on and be playing while it's in the background. I'll pay attention when they're explaining mechanics or whatever, but I tend to like to derp around with my own designs quite a bit now, so hopefully you can be patient with me during that. We will be building some other people's farms, but since entities are processing again in spawn chunks, I'm guessing, I could be wrong, I haven't tested this at all, but I'm guessing I can now build an iron farm there again and have that running for me all day, every day. So we're going to need to come back not too far away, because, or not in the not too distant future, because I mean, we need an iron farm. So we'll be back here decently soon. But if you know the answer to that, if you know whether we can build iron farms in spawn chunks again, go ahead and post it down below. I'd love to hear somebody else who's tried it or done the research give me some input there. Alright guys, so the cave. I've already done a little bit of changes here, and we obviously need to decorate this, make it look a little bit more cavey, and put this back here because, I mean, obviously we don't want to just get rid of it. We need this cave done, so alright, so let's take all this down, because that doesn't look like a cave. A dirt cave, I guess. My little dirt hut. Alright, let's pull that out. What over here needs to... we're gonna run away from him. We were blowing you guys up earlier for fun, but how many... I've got 3 arrows. There we go. Yeah! Okay, back down here we go. Alright, so I've been cooking up a little bit of this cobble. Oh, through the hole, here we go. Let's use some smooth stone. Let's use some andesite. And let's just give ourselves a basic, slightly better shape for this cave. You can go away. You're not helpful. Let's do some stone here. And okay, we'll put you somewhere else. Sure, andesite works. Let's put an andesite block there, and an andesite block there, and there, and I'm not so sure about this green stuff. Who said there could be grass in my cave? Come on, come on. And boom, boom, boom. I'm loving these stairs. Let's get some of those, and let's put these in here. Do I want... yeah, let's do one set of fences as well. That should be enough to make the basic of this, the basics of a cave that looks kind of like a cave. Let's do... that there, that there, that there. Let's try that there, and then let's put these out in a few spots. We don't need that. Let's put that there and there. Yeah, this is starting to look like something. One more? Sure. And I think that's pretty good. Now we do need to get, did I make, yep, I did craft them up. This. Because we are going to make this hole right here a little different. I think I need to pull these out. And do boom, boom. This is from burning up on re-entry. We'll talk about that later. And let's just kind of scatter these in the floor here a little bit. I think that will be good. That's enough. All right, that is the cave from the beginning. So, I haven't actually recorded that yet, obviously. I'm going to go and, oh my gosh, okay. I'm going to go do that in just a second. So, this is probably a good time to say thanks for watching. Don't blow up, don't blow up. This is my nice new floor. No, 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 okay, all right. I'm going to fix this and then we'll sign off. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed it, then you should stick around for another few seconds, because just like the clip at the beginning, there's going to be one more here at the end. And yeah, if you don't mind, you know, hitting that subscribe button or leaving a like, it would really help me with this channel as we start to grow it. But yeah, even if you don't want to do that, if you enjoyed it, come back and watch the next video next week. A little bit about streaming this week. I don't think I'm going to be streaming this weekend. Part of that's because I haven't figured out, I've got the software, I probably just need to sit down with it for a few minutes and stuff, but part of it is because what we're doing here is going to be running across the world, like across the world. We're going a ways. So I don't think that's going to be the most interesting stream, so I think I'm going to wrap it up here. We're going to leave this. I'm going to run across the world this weekend so we can end up where we are supposed to be at. I'll record and add in any little clips that we need, and then we'll go ahead and start next week there, and we'll start with our videos there, and then next weekend we will stream in that area. So I am excited to do that. I am looking forward to making more Minecraft videos because I'm having a lot of fun, and I just want to say thank you so much. Here is that last clip, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Day 5. After awakening here, I flew out of the cave that had formed around me, only to discover a wrecked and torn world. There are no people here. The civilizations have fallen. The world burned, and I fell into a sort of madness. In my sorrow, I withdrew back into this cave. I could not stand to look out and to remember the beautiful city that used to be here. Now it's just a lake with a few ruins scattered about here and there. With the guards, my family, gone, and the world destroyed, what remained for me to do? My powers seem to completely have left me, even if there was a use for them. As guards, we draw our power from those we protect. If they are no more, then neither is that power. In my misery, I waited for the end to take me. I curled up like a child, lonely and alone. I waited for the end, but it never came. For days, and then weeks. For months, I agonized, and possibly years. But then I began to slowly emerge from my crazed state. A light shone in my mind, and I realized something I had missed. A guard can only live so long because he is sustained by the lives who need him, and I have yet to pass. Somewhere, somehow, there is a survivor. There are people who need me. And if that is the case, then there is still hope. I can't bring myself to say it or believe it out loud, but there is a hope in my soul, a small ray, terribly fragile. If there is hope, then I must move. The urgency dawns on me, and I have wasted too much time. I will head to the Tree of Creation. The battle there was intense, and I cannot feel the magic that used to pour through the tree. But if survivors will head anywhere, they will go there. It is a long and dangerous journey. I have summoned the small supplies I can. Tomorrow, we begin to search for hope.